day 4 of El Camino Inglés, the English Camino, heading to Southampton. It's been a crazy couple of days in the best possible way. El Camino magic, the Camino provides every single time. So last night we were really struggling to find anywhere to camp. Like, we couldn't find any campsites. There really wasn't any flat land anywhere. There really was nothing, because a lot of it was residential. So it was starting to get to sunset. I actually went and knocked on the door of someone who was living along the trail and just asked her, is it possible for us to pitch a tent in your garden? But she seemed a bit hesitant, so that was completely okay, understandably. And again, everything happens for a reason, so that was fine. She pointed us in the direction of the village, off the trail 5 minutes. So we actually headed down there. We were walking past a pub, past a bar, and this guy just happens to be going to the toilet at the exact time that we're walking past. He comes out and he asks us, "Are you lost? Do you need help?" So we explained to him our situation, and he says, "Okay, let me think about it." So he goes into his friends and they're all talking about it. The bartender comes out and says, "You can come and get your stamp in here." So we go get a stamp. We go inside, and the guy that we met, Hugh, and his wife, Jules, she says to us, "Come camp in the back of our garden." So we said, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much," because honestly we were getting desperate at that point. We were running out of options, and it was honestly just such a godsend. So we ended up having a drink with them, and whenever we went back to their house, they actually ended up saying, "We've got a couple of spare rooms. We've got 4 boys," so they actually let us stay there for the night. Even made us peanut butter on toast, gave us tea, gave us cereal, let us have a shower, honestly. And just, we had the best chats. Honestly, Hugh and Jules are absolutely 2 legends. So kind, so welcoming, and they have travelled all over the world, so they really understood. We ended up sitting, chatting with them, watching the Olympics, and honestly, it was just such an amazing experience. Again, just reminds me of the kindness of strangers. I keep that in my heart, and then I pass that kindness on to other people. And that is the way of the El Camino, literally, is to give kindness, show that to other people, and it will come back to you in some form. And whenever other people show you kindness, then pass that on, and it creates this beautiful butterfly effect, this positive ripple effect out into the world. You have no idea how your one act of kindness can actually translate into potentially hundreds of acts of kindness. You just never know. So it was amazing to experience that. We headed off early this morning, just feeling so good for our last day. We had lunch in Winchester in the Orangery, which was really beautiful, having brunch there. Very tasty food. And Winchester is a beautiful English town. It is literally probably the most picturesque town that I've ever visited in England. It's in the south. And yeah, now we're on the home stretch. Just went for a little dip in the river. Everyone was out with their dinghies, with their bodyboards. The kids were loving it, and the sun is shining. So it feels really, really good to just enjoy the last stretch of this journey. And we'll be coming into Southampton probably, I would say, in about 3.5 hours time. probably have, I would say, 7.5 kilometers left, and it is very overgrown. Literally can't even really see the trail. It's very overgrown. There's a lot of nettles. Got stung a lot. But character building. I am very excited to get to Southampton. Also because it's like 25 degrees. I'm actually not even sure how warm, but I'm guessing around 25 degrees, potentially even warmer. It's a beautiful day. But you just really need to hydrate. Make sure you're hydrating. You know, take rehydration tablets in your water, or squeeze concentrated lemon into your water. But yeah, make sure you're wearing sun cream as well, because that sun is so strong. Yeah. Also as well, even though there are parts of the El Camino like this that are a bit more challenging, I wouldn't even say, physically, but maybe also mentally more so. That's why it's so important to keep your mindset strong. That's why it is so essential to remember that it's all about the journey, you know. And like my dad always says, don't forget to look up. You know, you're looking at the ground, seeing your next step, but also you can trust that your next step is going to land. You know, trust your body, trust yourself, and remember to take in the surroundings that you have, because before you know it, you're gonna have reached your destination, and part of you's gonna potentially wish that you were still on the journey. You know, you're gonna look back at the whole journey with fondness, even the character building parts, even the parts that are challenging and tough and, you know, test you mentally. Those are the parts that you'll also look back on and will also make great stories as well. You know, I've got so many things that have happened to me where in the moment I thought, oh, this is not a good situation, but afterwards, looking back on it, actually, you know, that was exciting. That was part of the whole journey and makes a really good travel stories as well. So just that reminder that actually, oh, I can smell mint. Yep, some wild mint growing. I think it's spearmint, so peppermint's the darker green one, which actually our host, she had in her back garden last night, made us some fresh peppermint tea, which was beautiful to receive. But yeah, there's a lot of thistles, but then you also find things like this, you know. Love it. So yeah, getting close now.
We made it!
We're here!
In Southampton. Well, still about 3k left, but we made it to Southampton on a very hot day. I think the hottest day of the year in England, actually. Chloe, you're not actually from the England mainland.
No.
You're
I'm from another landmass.
You're from another landmass. That's how I said it earlier. Yeah.
I'm from the Emerald Isle.
You're from, and yeah, what's this made you think of just English countryside and everything you've seen?
There's just something that feels very quaint, like I'm in a Lord of the Rings adventure.
Yeah, that's what it feels like for me. This has felt like Lord of the Rings adventure.
We are just a few kilometers from the end of the Camino de Santiago, the Inglés route. We'll be arriving in the centre of Southampton. We're actually already, as you can see, already walking through Southampton. Only a few kilometers left. The heat is really hard to walk in, but I'm trying to stay hydrated, and the feet are hurting, but we'll get there soon. We arrived at God's House Tower at 7:20 p.m. and we completed our 110 kilometre El Camino Inglés, the English Camino walk from Reading to Southampton in 4 days. Such an incredible trail and an incredible experience. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share your Camino experience below, and check out the channel for other videos on the El Camino journey.
James is making a noodle pad thai with extra noodles.
All right, Jimmy Oliver.